Okay, I just want to, we're going to reorder our meeting as per the agenda that we have here. There's a couple of things. There's a couple of people here kind enough to stay and make some presentations tonight. The first thing I want to insert is a presentation from the Council for Community Services. I see Ann Spaeth and Reverend Baker here tonight. So that is going to be the next item on the agenda, if that's all right. And then after that, I'd like to move Lisa Easton's presentation on Rytown Park up as our second agenda item. The third agenda item for tonight then would be the adoption of the 2010 budget, after which we'll take comments from the public. But I want to have the public...
We're not adopting the budget tonight, right?
I'm sorry, well,
yeah.
the
take
presentation...
It off the agenda. Okay.
No, well, we're going to have a presentation of the department
not
heads.
an adoption.
It's a look-see.
Right, okay.
But thank you, not adopting. So with no further ado, can I ask Ann Spaeth and Reverend Baker to come up and make a presentation on the very worthwhile work they're doing here in our community?
Fine. Thank you all very much for your time and attention.
Ann, you may want to go to the mic just so you can... Yep.
I'm going to be needing
The projector? Yep.
the projector.
John can help you. Just tell him what the...
Oh, that easy. Woo!
There's some more presents for you.
Oh.
Thank you.
So, you're going to click it for me?
Yes.
I just go click and you go click. All right, that's so neat. All right.
Could you hit a couple of lights there, the ones on the middle? Go ahead.
I'm Ann Beringer-Spaeth, and I'm the outgoing Executive Director of the Council of Community Services. We have a new director who came in just today. His name is Daniel Lipka, and he will be presenting to you in the future. But I've been with the Council now for 7 years, and I wanted to give you a report card on what has happened to us over the last couple of years. In particular, it just sort of took off after we moved in here, and I thought you'd be interested in knowing what has happened to us. In January of 2007, we received a planning grant from the Helen Andrews Benedict Foundation and United Way. And something's missing, but we did our research. We put together a group of people from all over the area, including incorporating Rytown, including Rybrook, as well as Portchester. We had 10 focus groups, including seniors and teens, and we had 10 key leader interviews, and we had a final event where they voted on the future projects that they wanted. And so this is the response to our community conversations that we had. It's sort of our report card of what's happened over the last 2 years from what happened then. That picture happens to have taken place at the Senior Center in Rybrook. We had 116 participants in each group, and they ranked these in this order. They felt that racism and lack of respect is was a barrier to a welcoming community. The need for a multicultural festival to help everyone understand and celebrate each other's cultures. They all wanted that. Some of them envisioned it as something with covered dishes. Others wanted a full-blown festival. Some of them just wanted to dance their own dance in the plaza. But they all wanted a festival. Okay, there was a serious lack of interaction between the different faiths and congregations. So they wanted to help others who were less fortunate. And interestingly enough, the 116 participants themselves were from the least heard in our community. And most of them not too well off, and they wanted to help others. They wanted a need for more conversations like the kind they had. For the first time, they'd been given the opportunity to be listened to. And they wanted more intergenerational opportunities to express themselves as well. The seniors loved being with the teenagers. It was sheer magic. They wanted a vehicle to use the willingness to donate time and talent to make Portchester more welcoming. And they wanted a way to greet newcomers, such as a welcome wagon. So the first thing we did was to put on a festival. We've done it for 2 years in a row. We do it down on Abendroth Avenue in the parking lot there on the waterfront. It's called Portchester Fest, and it's sort of taken off with a life of its own now. It has a wonderful grant from Marty Rogowski, which was a major player in the last couple of years. Chances are that's not going to be as great this year. It was all focusing on being intergenerational as well as multicultural, and we had over 1,000 people attending even though it was raining this year. Click. We had a large number of performances. We had actually 10 performance units and 15 poets and 4 workshops, and they came from Peru and Guatemala, Mexico, Brazil. We had American Swing, a Sephardic group, a Cuban and Puerto Rican group, and another group from Colombia, as well as international jazz. So we tried to cover almost everybody that we could, and this year we've met again, and there will be a new group of performers coming in to do their thing. The intergenerational workshops, as you can see, the adults were having just as much fun as the children. This particular group were making dolls from recycled materials. And this was the Peruvian group that started off the event with a marching band that included their families. It was a very touching event. In the center is Mayor Pilla, who was our MC. And the village of Portchester gave us a lot of in-kind services. They gave us the fire, the police, the recreation department, the showmobile, and the porta potties. Very important. This is an example of one of the performances. We encourage them to use their families in the performances as well, being a family event. And this is a Brazilian group that does something very similar to martial arts with drumming. And this was 2 of the children of the performers, the older performers. And this is the Peruvian group parading around the fairgrounds. Okay, so we were addressing the need for more interaction between the faiths in town. So God's Green Market was created. We've now in our 3rd year of that. Click. And this presentation was actually made up because you all didn't come to our annual meeting. We're bringing it to you. And this was from our annual meeting, and it's actually behind the times because we've had many more individuals serve since then, approximately 8,000, and we have brought in over 100,000 worth of vegetables that were distributed. And the way that works is that we have groups that go up from the various churches up into Goshen, New York, where they do the planting and the weeding and what we call cultivation, because weeding is so backbreaking, and harvesting of the vegetables. And then on Saturdays we bring it down to St. Peter's, right outside here in the parking lot, where they're distributed to people who have vouchers demonstrating that they are in with one of the soup kitchens or food pantries. The issue that started this was that there were no fresh vegetables for the poor. They get everything in cans or dried food or packages. Click. And here's the beautiful farm that we were using. You can see this is also intergenerational. We have an older man teaching a young boy how to shuck corn. And they wait about a couple of hours for their food out in the hot sun. It's just amazing how many people pour out. We were serving 100 families every week. I might add that we will not be going to Goshen anymore. We're attempting to farm here locally. We're working something out with the school district. Reverend Baker has been in negotiations with the school district to see if we can't use some of their land and some of their students and teachers to help us start a community garden here that will be for the same purpose of farming to serve the poor. And here's one of our stellar helpers, not just Scott Moore, who's the head of EMS, but the whole EMS team were just incredible. An example of the outpouring of interest and support for this community project. The vegetables, some of the cabbages and squash and whatnot, I couldn't even pick up. And these guys came, and they were the heavy lifters for a lot of the food that was brought in, and also sometimes we would cut it up into quarters because none of the consumers could pick them up either. They were there every week, and they would be there as long as they didn't have a call.